Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood as we continue this month of love, of relaxation, of getting seduced in your nightmares, getting seduced by the hot Gothic chick that wants to turn you into a doll, getting seduced by a vampire princess, getting seduced by the loneliness of the night. Because the Retro Blood is continuing 1980s/1 1990s Vampire Month, our third annual Vampire Month. And
it's exciting.
It is very exciting. And like tradition, we are doing a 1980s anime of the vampire lore.
Yeah.
All right. We are doing one, if you all like, vampire princesses biting the neck of a Shinba and making it into her slave. If y'all like an episode where a young girl loses her family and then turns into an evil demon trying to suck the life out of everybody. If y'all like an episode where a young, hot Japanese young feller who everybody finds cute and hot only loves the Gothic chick who wants to turn him into a doll. That was my favorite episode, by the way.
Was it really?
Yes. If you like number 3, where we have a guy in a huge ass samurai armor, doesn't realize he's not a Shinba. If you like an episode where the main girl, Mia, relives her past of torture and pain, then this is the mini series for you, brother, because the Retro Blood is talking all about Princess Vampire Miyu.
Yes.
J.H. Alison, James Kline, what's happening, Alison? How you doing?
What's up, man? So this is no Vampire Hunter D for sure.
Well, no, but I liked it though. I thought it was still pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was pretty good.
So if you're all wondering, no, I am not in Austin Powers Love Shack. All right, I am on assignment. What do you think?
Vice City.
It kind of looks like I'm in Vice City, doesn't it? Like the fucking Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It looks like I transformed myself in this fucking room, brother.
That's what I was thinking. It's like you're in Grand Theft Auto.
Like, I like how I'm wearing the vampire shirt and the fucking bright fucking Grand Theft Auto
beach look.
Cocaine alley and shit. So I'm on my travel. I'm out here in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia.
Yeah.
And there just so happened to be this hotel that my coworker suggested I visited. And this is the one. It's called the Z Hotel here in Victoria. Okay. And nice. I guess the theme is it's either Austin Powers Love Shack or it's Grand Theft Auto Cocaine Vice City. One of the two.
Right.
So I'll take the cocaine with the Vice City. You know what I mean? Speaking of cocaine, how did you enjoy this Vampire Princess Miyu there, Alison?
I mean, I thought it was good. I can't remember if I'd ever seen this before. I thought it was pretty good. It was not exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
But it's probably what I should have expected because of the nature of what an OVA is. And I'll talk about that when we talk about the history of it. But I thought it was pretty good. It's more of the way it looked, just like the atmosphere and just the way the actual animation looked.
Yeah.
Really had a nostalgic, it was a nostalgic thing for me. Like it brought back a lot of memories of like trying to watch early anime in America and what that was like and what anime looked like then. Because it's way different than it is now, which I'll talk about. We'll talk about the history. Like people are shocked when I talk about what watching anime was like in the early 90s. But yeah, this is from 1988, but I think it came out in America in like the early or mid 90s or something, maybe.
Yeah. It was like 88, 89. I think it came out around the US around like the 1989 era part.
No, really? Was it that early? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I know it was in
okay.
Japan. That I got to look at my release date, because when I looked at it, I think it was like let me see. Yeah, well, apparently there's like so there's a couple things, and we'll talk about it too. But the OVA 1988 and 1989, I believe they might have like something come to the US around that time. Okay. But obviously we got the miniseries, the actual TV series in 1997. So it's a little different. But I believe that I can see if I can find the exact Japanese release. Let me see if I got it on here. But I mean, this is something that we're going to be talking about, because the way you got anime is way different in like the 80s and 90s than you do today. There ain't no streaming
it was
service.
different.
There ain't no streaming service, brother.
No,
I mean, even in the 2000s, it was hard to get certain animes. You had to rip that shit off the internet.
Well, even 10 years ago, it was different.
Yeah,
but it was easier. Yeah, I mean, I can my whole history of like, trying to find anime titles and what that was like, but it was way different in so this came out in 1992 in America. Animigo put this out in 1992. So but buying anime in 1992 was a way different prospect than it is today, or 10 years ago even.
Yeah. So some of the stuff, we'll break it down each episode, what we thought about the episode, some of the plot lines behind it. Then we'll do we're gonna do a little different this week. We usually talk about what's going on in the world of pro wrestling and the metal music. We're going to skip it because we do want to have a long discussion about anime in America at this time. And we're also going to talk about the release dates of this show, and apparently the tone of this this OVA. We'll talk about OVAs, what that is as well too, and how the tone is a little bit different than the TV show, which happens a lot in like Japanese anime. Like your OVAs are going to be a lot different than like your TV show structures.
Yeah, exactly.
They're usually a lot more serious, more darker tones.
All right, for sure.
So first, Alison, let's talk a little bit about Japanese anime in this time of the good old United States. All right, how it came to be, how it came to form. I remember, so, I didn't watch, obviously, anime in the 80s because I was a little child, all right? But I think the first animes, I think that hit it big here in America, that really got the ball rolling, was that Akira movie.
Yes, I would agree with that. Akira was the first thing that people in America watched that said this is anime. Yeah. Now they'd seen anime before, but it was not called anime at the time, really.
No, like Akira is I mean, that I can think in my head. That's the one that I think sticks out the most to
for sure.
The older American fans that didn't really know about anime. Like if you didn't know about anime, you knew about Akira. That was like kind of like the thing, the standard bearer. All right.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, man, so what was it? Was it mostly just like tape trading, bootlegs that got sent down here, or was it like straight to home video style? You just had to wait.
So like in the 80s, so like when I was like a little kid, a lot of the cartoons that I liked were actually anime cartoons. I just didn't know that at the time. But they would bring here, even as going back as far back as the 60s, there was like, Speed Racer was an anime that released here.
That was probably that was probably the first one where it is an anime, but a lot of people didn't know that it was an anime. All right, they just thought it was a regular cartoon. But that would probably be the most prominent anime for America, probably at the time. Even more so than Akira, I would say. Akira was kind of like what made it popular, but Speed Racer was super popular in the United States.
Yeah, you're right. It was, but at the time though, I don't, like you were saying, like I don't think anybody really realized that it was anime, even though it does have Japanese names in the titles. Like I don't really know that people when people were Speed Racer fans, I don't think that they were like, oh, I like anime, because I don't even know if that word. I don't think that word even existed then. Like anime is a fairly new term, really. Like, and like in the early '90s, we called it Japanimation.
Japanimation, brother.
And if you went to like Suncoast, like their anime section had a big sign that says Japanimation over the top of it. So anime was like a newer term. By newer, I mean it's probably like 40 years old, but it's newer. It was not called anime originally, and I believe when Akira was marketed here, it was called Japanimation at first, and I believe the reason that this is just information off the top of my head, but I believe the reason that Akira was made it so big was because it had funding from like Showtime or HBO behind it. Because part of the problem in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s of buying actual anime was like the companies that put it out here were very small. Like the company that put this out originally was called Animigo, and they were a company from, I think they were from up north originally, but they moved down to Wilmington, North Carolina, which is where their headquarters have been for 20 years or more, 20, 30 years. But they would license a lot of anime, and it was very, very expensive. Like, they had to, not only did they have to pay the licensing fee, but they had to pay to translate it, and then they had to pay voice actors to dub it and then subtitle it and get it ready for American release. And back then you could get like an anime tape, a VHS tape was around $50.
It's a lot.
So on this, I think they released 2 episodes on one VHS tape. So it was around an hour and it was around $50.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how much you had to pay.
Yeah.
Akira was around the same amount, but it was a full length movie. So it seemed like a good deal. But I remember seeing Akira at my cousin's house on like HBO or Showtime or something.
Yeah.
And like that was that was amazing. Like it was more than I thought animation could ever be. But back when this came out, basically you would mail order it from an ad in a magazine. So like there were anime magazines and you would see an ad in the back of it, and then you would send them a check or a money order, and then they would put it in an envelope and mail it back to you, and you get it like a month later or two months later or something like that. And it was, like I said, it was crazy expensive. You couldn't go to the video store to rent it. Most video stores didn't have it. And you couldn't,
that would change, though.
That would change later on in the 90s. It got to where you could buy it at like Suncoast and places started carrying it. But like it was at this time when this came out, anime was just a mail order thing, and it was really, really hard to find. There might have been tape trading then, but I hadn't heard about it yet. I didn't find out about tape trading until about 1995 or 6, probably.
I do, yeah.
And about fan subs and things like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting too, because a lot of these home video studios and stuff that would like want to bring the anime to America or different places. It's not like these studios like nowadays. Where they'll get some prominent, really good voice actors. Back in the day, man. When they were dubbing this shit, they would just get whatever bloke. It feels like whatever bloke off the street. You know what I mean?
That's whoever they could afford, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's whatever acting student they could afford. I mean, the acting in this was pretty terrible, but hilariously so.
Exactly. But it's like, I think now, like looking back on it, obviously we're in the 2025s, and we get so much access to all older anime. You can find all this stuff like everywhere. I think it does have a special charm to it. Like I think the bad American dubbing of anime is like a I don't know, like it's not respected, but it is respected. You know what I mean? Like people like it for like the nostalgia act of like these bad actors and shit on here, these animes. Me personally, I always liked my anime watching it in the actual original dialogue and just reading the subtitles. But every once in a while, some of these animes will have a star actor voice. You know what I mean? Like every once in a while, there's a good American voice. The one I could think about that I actually liked the best was the Tenchi Miyu series. I actually thought they had really good American voice actors. I couldn't name them all. I'm not like the diehard anime dude, but I just remember what I liked back in the day. I thought obviously Dragon Ball Z is the most popular one, I guess, with the American voices, and probably Naruto now. But I remember, back in the day in like the 90s and stuff on the Cartoon Network when Tenchi Muyo was playing, I thought their American voices actors really well. There's a couple of good ones. If anybody has any ones that they like, obviously comment below. We love to hear your comments.
Sure.
But like, what do you think, Alison? Which anime that you remember off the top of your head that you actually like the American voices? Do you have any one out there?
Akira is really. I think Akira is really good.
Yeah.
Because they had, like I said, they had some money behind it. I like the American voices for Ranma 1/2. Yeah. Which is a TV show that came out probably around this time too. Started coming out. I really like that. Honestly, I was gonna say, honestly, I like the way these voices sound because they probably remind me of what dubbed anime sounded like then. Like, it just brings back a memory to me.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. Like it in some cases it's good, but like anime dubbed today is still too cartoony sounding.
Yeah, some of it.
You know what I mean? Like the voices are just like high pitched and whiny or something. Like they just sound cartoony. They don't have like I feel like they just don't have the seriousness that story has. Like some are different. Like Jujutsu Kaisen is pretty good. Their dub is pretty good. I feel like One Piece's dub is really good, but it's also a funny story too.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Anime. Yeah, true. Like I don't really like the Dragon Ball Z dub at all. Like people love that, but I think it's mostly people that grew up watching the dub. Like I just think it just sounds goofy and it just doesn't sound good. I just don't like it.
Well,
the Japanese of that's way better. True.
I say Dragon Ball Z, since it is a very old anime that some people I guess forget. I mean, that anime, I feel like that anime was like when I was born. You know what I mean? That one was an effect of the 90s, like dubbing, like the later 90s, early 2000 dubbing. You know what I mean? So I think they just kept the voices. You know what I mean? So they just kind of kept it. It's kind of like a nostalgia thing, I guess. That's why a lot of people because I remember watching it when I was younger. I did watch it when Dragon Ball Z did air for the first time in English here in America. And boy, I was like, man, these voices are a little tough. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I was curious about it. So
when it first aired, it was awful because they edited it really. They edited it really bad.
Yeah.
They cut out any. Took out any blood.
Yeah.
When
the ship blew up, I could see his parachute.
Yeah. That's. I mean, it's like, come on. But they changed a lot of the voice actors, though, I believe. Like I think the ones that were famous, that became famous Dragon Ball voice actors, were different than the ones that started the show very early on. Because remember they put them out, the early episodes out again later, unedited, and I think that they redubbed them too. But yeah, like when it first came out, it was just like a bastardization of Dragon Ball, which is what a lot of anime was. Like that's what was wrong with a lot of anime that they brought to America. Is like, it's like, it's a cartoon, it's for kids, so we can't have any kind of blood or anything dark in it. And I'm why did you even buy the rights to this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think one of the biggest ones wasn't it Macross or something like that? There was one of them out there that was like dubbed so much down that it was like a whole new thing. Yeah.
So Macross became Robotech.
Yeah, Robotech, yeah.
So Robotech actually may be one of the first shows that I watched that I actually knew was Japanese.
Yeah.
Like I'd watched Voltron before that, but I didn't really realize it was Japanese. But Robotech was probably the first thing I watched that I really realized that it was actually Japanese, like a Japanese show. But Robotech is really weird because it was put together by this guy named Carl Masick, who a lot of people love and a lot of people hate. And Carl Masick, anime would not be as big in America today if it weren't for Carl Masick, but he just bastardized everything that he touched. So he wanted, and in America, you need, I think it's like 80 or 90 episodes or something to sell it to syndication. There has to be a certain amount of episodes, maybe it's 65. But anyway, there has to be a certain amount of episodes And he couldn't find an anime series that had enough episodes because most of them had around 25 episodes at the time.
Wow.
So he bought three completely different series, like that weren't related in any way. And he kind of rewrote the story to make all three of them fit together. Macross was used as the first part of Robotech, and then the other two series that followed it, the original series had nothing at all to do with Macross at all. Honestly, the dubbed version of Macross, which is the first 30 episodes or 25 episodes of Robotech, is actually pretty good.
Oh, that's what I heard. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Macross is like one of my favorite shows, though. I feel like it's just incredible.
Yeah,
it's absolutely incredible.
Very popular for the time.
Yeah.
I remember that being.
And that's probably like mid 80s, probably like 85, maybe.
Yes.
Something like that, 85, 86.
There's a lot of good 80s ones out there. And of course, we'll keep doing it as long as we keep doing Vampire Month and stuff like that. We'll add a couple animes, but it's pretty cool to explore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so the actual style of 80s and 90s anime, I think has a very really good charm to it. You know, you get it's the actual drawing style of it is more, I don't know, it just kind of has this certain flair to it. You know what I mean? It's I like it. There's some animes where they'll put out more. It feels like they put more into the features, more detail in some of the facial features. All right, and they also do more of the body features on it, because I can remember watching the 1990s or 80s. I can't remember if it was 80s or 90s Guyver series, and that one does have a very good that kind of style of artwork that's in it, where you get more. It feels like the lines that were drawn a little bit bigger. Right, and you get a little bit more the body structure, just a little different than nowadays, where it's very smooth. Everything looks like Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? It's very smooth, very very bright, very all the colors are right on point. Where in the 90s, 80s, they didn't have that kind of technology to do, very detailed colors. So some of the colors are a little more grainy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, true. I mean, and also resolution was a lot lower then. I mean, 480p or whatever was about all they had.
Yeah.
But they except for theatrical movies. But I think that part of that difference though is anime now, a lot of it is done by computer.
Yeah.
Instead of being drawn by an actual person. So back then, this, for example, every frame of this was drawn and painted by a person. You know what I mean? Every single frame was painted and drawn by a person. And you can have, I mean, in a way it's less detailed, but it's also more detailed in a different way. It just looks good. It just, to me, to my eye, that's just what it's supposed to look like. It's not, I'm sure your computer could AI make an anime that was way more crisp or whatever. But to me, this just looks better. It's warmer. It's just, I don't know, it's just nicer.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is. Technology keeps growing and growing.
Right.
From the 80s, even to the 90s, to the 2000s, the biggest example is one movie we're probably going to be doing later on in this series is if you take Vampire Hunter D, which we did review on the Retro Blood 2 years ago. Very great movie. Probably my favorite vampire movie out of the 80s. That's
it's great.
But if you compare that to Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, the animation quality and stuff is way different. The Bloodlust came around 1999 and 2000. But if you compare the two, it's night and day. So obviously, through the decades, obviously anime and the way that they did the style has grown, that's just the way it goes. Now, Alison, I got a question for you. Since everybody has hand-drawn their stuff and animated like they did in the 80s and 90s, is that why we get the excessive posing?
Yes, that's exactly why.
Bro,
that's exactly why.
Golly, there was so much fucking posing in this fucking anime series. I couldn't believe it. That fucking lava guy. Everything he did was a pose. All right. Yeah.
Because if you don't have the character move, then you don't have to redraw him.
You don't have to redraw him. You're all good.
Yeah, you can use that cell again. So because animation is made on cells, so it's like drawn on like plastic or whatever. Yeah. And then you'd put one character, and then another, I'm blocking the camera about to show this, but you'd put one here, and then you with a character on it, and then you'd put another cell in front of it that's clear. It's set for the part where you do the other character. But you could keep this one if he's not moving. So you just change this one out. You don't have to redraw this again. So and that's also why in a lot of old animes, in action sequences, like if a character gets punched and they're falling down, what you'll actually see is an image of the character falling, but he's not actually moving, and they just move the camera away from the frame. They move the background. So he's not actually falling. So they don't have to actually, I keep putting my camera in front of my face. So they, they don't have to redraw him here and here and here and here and here as he falls. They just move the background and it's the same image. So, I mean, that's just
crazy. That was like, and that, I think that right there was like an anime kind of like, what do you call it? Like an anime calling card. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like so I think they even still do that stuff today, even though they don't need to. But they can still do that kind of like that posing and that the way that they fight and the way that they get like the camera up to you and close to show like emotion through those editing styles, because they had to do that back in the day. And I think they just kept it because it came kind of like part of like the anime culture to keep that stuff in there.
Right. So, it's just kind of part of what it is. Yeah. It's one of the things that makes it anime.
So a couple of things, Alison. So can you explain to the audience, what is the difference between a TV series of an anime and an OVA?
So a TV series, so basically anime in Japan at this time was delivered in 3 different ways. Yeah. So you had TV series, which were made to run obviously on television. Then you would have theatrical films, which are shown in movie theaters. And then you would have OVAs, which are kind of in the middle. So the lowest quality anime was television anime because one, that resolution was less, and they had to make an episode every single week, hand drawn. So it took a lot longer. So it would have taken a lot longer to do that kind of quality. So the quality was less. Theatrical films took longer to make because the quality was greater, which is why the Dragon Ball Z movies have better animation than the TV series did when they first started. Yeah. And OVA stands for original video animation. And it was basically direct to VHS. So it was a better quality than TV, but probably not quite as good as a movie would be. But it allowed in the 80s, it allowed companies to tell stories that maybe had a little bit more violence or darker themes in it. Yeah. And it would go direct to video, and then Japanese people would go to a store and buy it, just like we did on VHS and watch it. Yeah. And so and then the animation was a little bit better compared to a TV show of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked the OVAs. Like when you're watching a series that you liked. Yeah. The 2 that always come to mind for me are going to be the Tenchi Miyu OVA series, which is not super different than the actual TV show, but it is a little bit more mature, I would guess, on the actual themes. Because you're saying, it's not being shown on Japanese television. You know what I mean? Right. It's not being shown on American television, even though they were a little risky back in the day compared to, nowadays probably. True. But then, nowadays it's really different because most of everything right now, I mean, I think they still have Japanese TV that anime airs on. Of course, in the States. Yeah, sure. I would say 90% of the anime, you either go on YouTube or you go to Tubi or you go to Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll seemingly has every anime that comes out.
Yeah, they get the most part. Newer stuff. So they could be probably maybe a little bit more raunchy for their stuff on there. But back in the day, if you wanted more of like the more serious tone for your anime series that wasn't like a movie, you would go to the OVAs. Like I said, I remember the Tenchi one doing, and of course the Rurouni Kenshin one, the OVA series that they put out, I thought it was fantastic.
That's a good example because that's a good example of one that had a better animation style than the television series.
Yes. Yeah, very vast, different, more more detail, a lot more detail, especially the first one. A lot more detail, a lot more serious compared to the actual TV show and manga at the time. It took one part of the manga, the more serious part of the manga, and they made it into the little miniseries. I thought it was fantastic. That's actually what got me really hooked on anime, was that series. Like I said, there's been some good ones out there. So for this particular series, Princess Vampire Miyu, this actually came out before their actual TV series. All right. Yeah. And this one is, I would say, I guess when they compare the two, the OVA and the TV show, this OVA is a little bit more serious, a little bit more darker tone. And it has a little bit more of the Japanese like folklore with it. A little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I've never actually watched the TV series of this, but yeah, it would be a little darker than the eventual TV series would be. And I've also never read the manga for this, but I'm guessing that they made this into an OVA because of the darker themes. That were in it.
Get them out there. Yeah. That's pretty much. I mean, that's kind of like this. Where the was like kind of like the way they did the OVAs and stuff. All right, so let me get some more notes over here. All right, let's see if I got this. Okay, so let's get into who booked this shit.
Yeah.
Now y'all gotta take it easy on me, because we are doing foreign names, and as you can see, I am super high on Miami cocaine right now.
I see that. I see it in your eyes.
Really? Is it the disco ball that gave it away? Okay.
It's the disco ball gives away the Coke party. Yeah.
All right. So this one is Vampire Princess Miyu, like we said. I guess it has some other names. Hepburn. I don't know what that is. So it's a Japanese horror manga, which I always appreciate. By the way, I heard one of the best horror manga going on right now is Chainsaw Man. Have you ever seen Chainsaw Man?
I haven't actually watched it, but it is super popular. I need to sit down and watch it.
My brother, who pretty much the guy who got me into anime, he has suggested some stuff for our show as well too. He told me that it's like a mix between Dragon Ball Z and Hellraiser, so that's pretty interesting.
I can see that from what I've seen from the characters.
Yeah, so everybody, I've been meaning to check that out. I just, I'm like, anime to me right now, I'm like super duper into it, but like I'll watch like some of the good stuff that I like find here and there. So, but I actually did enjoy this one. So this one, the series is made by Narumo Kamichiyo. I probably fucked that up pretty bad. And Toshiki Himura, as well as an anime adaptation by the same creators. The anime was originally adapted as a 4-episode original video animation we talked about, released in 1988 and licensed by Anima Eagle, and later has a 26-episode television series released in 1997. All right. So we got 4 different episodes, and they actually all came out at different times and actually have all the release dates. All right.
Yeah.
So we have the first episode, which I got like 2 different names for it, because like Peacock's names are different than the names I found. So I'll just give them to them both.
Oh, for the episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So episode 1 was Birth of the Vampire. That's one of the ones I got.
Oh, weird. I have it as Unearthly Kyoto.
Exactly. So I don't know which one to believe. I got 2 different sources. I have no idea. But this did happen a lot. All right.
Yeah. True.
To be honest with you, this is no different than if you're having an Italian movie that came here to the States. They'll change shit all the time, and the titles, people's names. You know what I mean? So I'm guessing that the titles I'm reading are the actual ones that were from Japan, but then we also have the American names too. Okay. So that particular episode was released in Japan on July 21st, 1988.
Yes.
Okay. So then we have episode number 2. All right. Which I got The Demon with the Human Face. That's a pretty cool title, I guess. That's like a death metal band. You know what I mean?
That's so weird. That's such a weird, like, extreme name for that.
I know.
Because the other name is A Banquet of Marionettes.
Which is another cool name. That's like a metalcore
I think that fits better. That's like a metalcore band. Yeah. A Banquet of Marionettes.
They do have some cool titles, bro. I like these titles. All right. So this one came out in October 21st, 1988. So just a couple months later. All right. And we have episode number 3. And by the way, these episodes, what are they about? 30 minutes?
About 30 minutes, yeah.
About 30 minutes each.
Not quite even that, but yeah, about 30 minutes.
So we have episode 3, The Forest of Illusion.
Or Fragile Armor.
Fragile Armor. Which
Forest of Illusions. Forest of Illusions sounds like a power metal band.
Yeah, I'm not I mean, like I said, this is the ones I found. I don't really get the Forest of Illusion. I like the Fragile Armor one better. Compared to the actual episode that we got.
Well, I mean, it makes more sense because I mean, there's armor in that makes sense for the story. A Forest of Illusion is like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's just the ones I got. All right, and that one came out in December 21st, 1988.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then our last episode. All right, the one that they gave me was Banquet of Blood, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty cool. It's better than the other title, which is Frozen Time.
Frozen Time, yeah. So, I don't know. You all decide which episode titles you like better. Like I said, mine was just do some research, but the actual episodes, you can find this whole series on the Peacock. You can also find them on YouTube as well, too. And
I was about to say, they're also on YouTube as well.
The YouTube has the Peacock names. So if y'all are like super anime nerds out there that just so happen to watch our show, first of all, you're wondering why I'm in Miami Vice. All right. And then but if you all like saying like, hey, just let me know what names are correct, because I don't know. I couldn't really figure out what names are actually correct. But if y'all are super nerds out there, comment below and let us know what names are correct.
There'll be somebody that'll tell us. There'll be somebody that'll reach out. So actually, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So,
which is actually one of my favorite parts of doing this, by the way. Yeah, I love when people do that. I love when people correct us. I think it's great.
So anyway, I got a funny story about that.
Okay.
There's one dude. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like one of our comments. He like commented like on this like little clip of one of our Friday the 13th episodes, and he explains why he loves skinny dipping. I mean, it's probably the greatest comment we have ever gotten on this show.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Go down to, it's like one of the beginning of this like little clip where we're talking about Friday the 13th. I think it was like number 2. And there's like a small clip where me and Alison are explaining the skinny dipping back, which it is. And this guy just explaining why he loves, and he could only skinny dip. I'm like, brother, where are you? We love you. We love you out there.
That's fantastic. I love the people listening to our show.
We love
They're all crazy.
We don't care what the comments are. We all love them.
No.
So comment below if y'all like this. So, I didn't really find like any like detail of why this was made. I don't. Does anime do that? Did they have like background of why they came up with the story? Like, did they have like interviews with like anime
sometimes,
creators?
but not for. I didn't see one for this, but this one's unique because it was directed. I believe it was written and directed by the man and the woman who did the manga, which is unusual.
Yeah, that is unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually just go straight to the story and stuff.
And I'm pretty sure they're married.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that.
Well, that's not unusual. There's a couple couples out there that write together.
Well, that's true. But I believe they're married to each other, and she draws and he writes.
So a couple things.
She draws and he writes.
Okay. Well, there you go. But that is kind of what usually what they'll do is they'll have the manga and they'll like license the property to like a studio.
Mm-hmm.
And the studio will create it. But I think like a lot of times though, the author will have like at least like input on certain things.
Yeah, you know for sure. For sure. Yeah.
It's kind of like a George R. Martin type of deal. Well, like he's not physically like, directing it in there, but he helps the director or whatever, like with this actual story process.
Because she seems like she's basically just a professional artist because she's done all kinds of things. Like she's illustrated books. She's illustrated a bunch of manga, but the only one I've ever heard of is this one, Vampire Princess Miyu. And then she's worked on animation. A lot of adult animation she's worked on. It looks like she also worked on one of the Macross movies. She's done album covers. So she seems like she's just like a professional artist. And then he works on mostly animation too. Like I think he's written a couple of manga other than this, but mostly there are a couple that just works in animation mostly as a job, and then they just do manga occasionally, apparently.
So that's pretty fun. You got to keep it up in the family, brother.
Exactly.
So let me check this over here. So when you go to like, I guess. Straight to anime reviewers and stuff. You know what I mean? I guess it's the Siegel and Ebert of anime directors or reviewers and stuff.
Right.
I mean, I think the only one I could actually do though, like in full detail, is Rurouni Kenshin, because I know everything about that series in anime.
Yeah.
Other than that, like most of the time I'm a fly-by fan when it comes to anime.
Oh, for sure. I am too. Like, but anime is like, it's like 90% of it I don't like, but the 10% that I do like, I think is really good.
Yeah.
Like the vast majority of it I don't like, but I think the little bit I do like is great.
Yeah. So, this usually gets pretty praised. This OVA series gets praised very well within the community, but I think a lot of people at the time, they don't like the English dub. That's usually like the negative part on it. I wonder if it was that scene where like, I don't remember who it was, but then somebody called out the fucking doctor character. What was he? What was he? A psychologist? What was she?
She's like she's a therapist, I believe. Yeah.
And he was all like, "That's that psychologist." Brother, that was a Resident Evil moment for me. What happened to Jill and Wesker? I was like
the way that they just exclaim everything, like, and I think it's the first episode when the guy is waiting outside and he's like, and Miko is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm waiting on the vampire." Just like the most matter of fact thing possible. Like, okay, that's like a normal thing to be doing.
Yeah, the boyfriend is all mad.
That's like a normal thing to be doing.
I'm gonna get him for revenge. I love it. Brother, I would have loved to have been one of these actors on here. Sign me up, man. If I could just be so animated like that, that'd be fucking awesome. All right, so Shima, did I say that right? I thought it was Shibu, but you can't say it's not Shibu because that's licensed already. All right, from the dog.
You mean the evil thing? The
evil
Shinma.
The Shima.
The Shinma, yeah.
Apparently it's a made-up word. Oh, you don't say. And
you don't say.
The creator, Narumuri whatever. It consists of the Cajun. It's supposed to mean God and demon, like mixed. Which is the whole point
that makes sense.
Which is the whole point of the series, because the series is all about godly demons who left Earth and created their own little realm, and then they kind of like do their own thing. They haunt here and there, stuff like that. So, but everybody, I think it's time. I think it's time that we break down each episode of the OVA series Princess Vampire Miyu.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
At one time, gods and demons were as one. They were sealed away in the abyss of distant memory. The hearts of humans who feared the dark brought this about. These beings were the Shinma, a race of demons. The Shinma awakened from their slumber and gathered together. On the final night of that gathering, when the dark, the Shinma, and the humans met, a young girl strayed into their midst. She became forever known as Vampire Princess Miyu.
All right. So we start off first episode of this series. We meet some young lovers in the little forest area. The guy gives her a little kiss, goes on.
Yeah.
And then the girl gets seduced by a flying vampire thing very quickly.
As you do.
All right. So then we have kind of like a POV section of one of our main characters, the spiritualist. Hey, that's that spiritualist.
Yes. She speaks to spirits. She can communes with the spirits.
Yeah. And she's talking about her job, everything. What's her name? Miko? What's her
Hamiko.
name? Hamiko. She's in like all these episodes.
Yeah.
All right. And she's basically doing some investigation about some of the missing kids around there. And a lot of places are starting to think that they're being taken by vampires because there's like garlic everywhere and stuff like that. So she does like her investigating around town. She eventually finds the boyfriend, but the boyfriend wants to take a revenge and try to get this vampire and hunt them down for taking
because I was about to say his girlfriend was taken by the vampire. Yeah.
Yeah. So the story with this one's pretty interesting. So like the vampire, they basically got taken over. Like this, I guess the story is basically the character who's the vampire girl. The way that they explain it, I thought she thought these stories were pretty like creative, and I thought they were actually pretty deep. Like I like a lot of these episodes of the Vampire Princess, I didn't realize a lot of their stories were going to be pretty like deep stories. Okay. So basically this girl who she got into a car accident and her parents died. All right. And ever since then she just saw herself or something as a vampire, like different. All right. So they would see throughout the classes that she would start biting things. And eventually she became so obsessed with like being a vampire that she actually got taken over by a Shima demon. All right. That like kind of like preyed on like that kind of like that innocence. You know what I mean? It kind of preyed on your deepest, darkest fantasies of what you are. All right. So that is the actual vampire that's happening right now. It's been taken over. This girl that had all this trauma in her life got taken over by this Shima. And now she's out there actually really being a vampire and believing it. Okay. But then she gets cornered. She gets cornered by Miyu, who is accompanied by her friend Larva.
Right.
Like Larva. What do you think about Larva? That's an interesting name.
I'm wondering if that's some kind of weird translation error, because I don't think it's supposed to be like a larva, but maybe it is.
Maybe, yeah.
This was a really, I feel like this is the most confusing part of this whole thing, because I was trying to explain larva to myself as I was watching this and then reading about it. And I'm like, I don't really fully understand what he is, but I know he's like bound to her in some way. Yeah. He's a demon. He's a Shinma.
Yeah.
And she like defeated him and then like put that mask on him, and he's like bound in this mask.
Yeah. Well, actually, I thought his story was.
But he's also her friend somehow. Well, but also evil.
So I think we find about his backstory in episode 2, 3. I don't remember. We find about
2 or 3. Yeah.
We'll talk about it now. His backstory I thought was kind of like creepy and cool. Now the way I interpreted it was. He was going to. He knew he's a Shima, right? Like you said, he's one of those pretty. He's one of those pretty Final Fantasy ones that just show up and look all hot and stuff. So he cornered Miyu. Yeah, and I think he knew Miyu was like something like a vampire or something, and he was going to seduce her to take over her and actually go and enslave. I think this is what he was going to go take over her whole like culture, like her whole like family. Like he was there. He's like a kind of a conqueror type of guy.
Yeah. Right.
And he was about to, like seduce her, but then she bit him on the neck
Mhm.
And I guess her vampire powers are a little bit more special than other vampires or something. And she actually, by biting him on the neck, has lured him to be basically her slave. All right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
over time, she feels like he is like the one she could trust. He's like the biggest, like he's like, her friend. Like she could trust him. Like he's very
Right,
loyal.
yeah.
But the
Right.
original character of his was actually going to like haunt and take her over, but she turned the tides on him.
Mm.
I think she thought like that's the way I was watching it. I could be completely wrong. But that's the way I'm watching it.
That's right. That's what I would think too. Like she was, so he's like a demon. So he's like evil, and then she like bites him and sucks his blood, and then like starts controlling him.
Yeah.
But then the thing you consider is they've been doing this for like a long, long time. Like, you know what I mean? She looks like she's a teenage girl, but she's been around a very long time. She's very old.
Yeah, very old.
Yeah, they're both very old. And then he, so over the times that they've been doing this, they got to where they liked each other. So they're like friends, kind of.
Yeah. So, and the spiritualist, she actually sees Miyu in action, hunting down the Shima that's taken over the girl's body. And of course, Miyu is a lot more powerful than her. And Miyu, she is like, her character is she goes and hunts these Shima demons.
Yeah.
Down.
And she's been doing it for many years.
Many years. Now, I'm not, I think they kind of explained it in the last episode why she does it. I think it's something about like she is also a Shima, but she also thirsts for them too. Like something about their blood or something like that.
So what I took out of it was that she originally was a normal person.
Yeah.
So what I read about it was that so in anime, her father is human and her mother is a vampire.
Yeah. Yes.
But I believe in the manga it's a little different. I think her mother is maybe human and her father is a Shinma.
Yeah.
And so she's like half vampire.
Yeah, she's like an Alucard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she's like Alucard. And then she gets she ends up having to like basically she's supposed to battle all the Shinma, and it's supposed to take like hundreds of years for her to do it.
Yeah, so like wasn't it her clan was like left her like bloodline of that Shima, it was left on Earth. So if another Shima came to Earth, she would have to hunt them down because they were supposed to be not on Earth. Only her bloodline or something could be on there. So they kind of they explained that a little bit on the 4th episode. But with this one, I liked it where, like, obviously at first the spiritualist, she didn't trust Miyu. She was all like, "What the fuck? Like, this girl is even crazy." She thought Miyu was the vampire haunting everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But Miyu wasn't. She was actually going after the Shima that was haunting everybody. But she herself is also like a little demon itself. So she overpowered that one. And then this is when she couldn't really trust. She couldn't really trust Miyu. All right. But I liked it where they explained the tragic backstory of the lonely girl that the Shima took over. And we actually did have a really cool scene where Miyu takes the Shima out of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From doing all her vampire cool stuff. We see the slimy creature like we see in 80s horror movies. They start fighting it. She eventually banishes it. But she banishes it. Check this one out. She banishes it by writing its name down.
Yeah.
You ever been killed by name?
No, but I'm thinking that's like like an Asian superstition, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that happens in anime a lot, like in Death Note.
Yeah.
Like Death Note is about writing, people's names in a book and then something bad happens to them. Yeah. So I think that might be like an Asian superstition. Yeah. If I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like folklore in these two. I thought that was pretty cool. And I think it was that this should be like if you say its name or say its name, if you know what it is, like because it's basically it's like a dream haunter. Like it will haunt your dreams. Yes. It'll take over your darkest fantasies. That's what it was doing with this little girl.
Right.
And once you know of its presence is there, then it goes away. So it has to be like very mysterious. So that was basically the plot for the first episode. I thought this episode was okay, but I really enjoyed this next episode, which was episode number 2.
Number 2 was really good.
So
yeah, it was really creepy with the marionettes and the dolls.
Yeah. What was it called in the Peacock one again?
A Banquet of Marionettes.
Yeah, Banquet of Marionettes, brother. I liked it. All right, so this one we have the old-fashioned love story.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. So this one was fun because we meet a character. I believe they say his name is Kai, something like that.
Yeah.
And he is like the hot stuff around this Japanese school, brother. Everybody's like, look at this hot piece of meat, brother, walking down the street. All right. Even the spiritualist, all right, was liking him too. All right. She was like, oh man, he's a very cute and attractive guy. I was like, damn, this guy, what is he, Hugh Hefner? He's a playboy. All right. But he doesn't care about all these affections. All he cares about is this little goth demon girl. I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of dudes out there that can relate to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You got all this, you got a hot man, but then you just get seduced by your goth girlfriend. It happens, brother. It
happens every time.
So this one was like totally, you could do this story nowadays. I love this story. So basically he knows this girl is like weird, this Shima, like goth girl. And he basically wants like eternal life. Okay. He wants to be, he doesn't want to grow old in a sack of bones, like he said in the American version. He wants to be like beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
And she is kind of like a little bit playing with his emotions, but this Shima, what this Shima has been doing, the way it kind of like takes life forms, it basically, she goes after different people in the school, and it turns them into dolls. All right. And that's the Shima's way of like, keeping you forever young, is by turning you into like this puppet doll. Right. So during the whole episode, there's this big investigation of like these missing kids, and there's like there's an eyewitness that saw a bunch of dolls at the scene. All right. And this one dad's like convinced, like, I think my daughter, whatever, got turned into a doll.
Yeah, like he thinks his daughter got turned into a doll. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all think he's crazy at first. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently Miyu, this randomly is going to the same school, and she has a hot for Kai as well.
Yeah, of course.
So I like it when they like corner the guy, and she's all like, well, I could really turn you into a vampire. Huh? And he's all like, nah, I want the guy. She's like, no, but I can actually do what you want. She can't. She's going to turn you into some sort of plastic doll thing. And Kai's like, listen, I know what she does, but I don't care. I'm addicted to that goth girl.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't care. You just want the goth chick. You don't really care if she's going to wreck your life or anything like that. This
is like, those anime chicks. There's no way they would not love this episode.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it has everything that an anime chick would look for. It has the guy who's hot bowing down to the alternative chick. At first, all he wants is something from himself, but he doesn't really want something from himself. He's just madly in love with his goth girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's this goth love story.
But he can't have his goth girlfriend, because the goth girlfriend is actually like a demon who doesn't really like have like sexual fantasies and shit. It just wants to turn people into dolls. But
I think we can all relate to that.
But that's what she says though. Right? But then later on, she actually reveals, no, this is the first time that a Shima has actually loved a human. Which is not true, because we got Miyu's parents. But I think it was kind of like building up to it. You know what I mean? So the whole story is basically them two, Kai wanted to be with her and Miu's trying to like stop it, while the spiritualist is trying to like stop it as well. All right. So it comes to a point where actually they were going to rescue Kai from the goth Shima. All right. But the goth Shima already turned Kai into a Japanese, I was going to say sex doll, but as kind of like what it was.
Kind of, yeah.
A hot Japanese sex man doll.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, oh shit, like we can't really reverse this. And the guy's like, don't worry about it. I wanted to do this.
I'm fine.
I wanted to be with her. I would have just got out of there if I was them. I was like, well, fuck you, asshole. We're trying to fucking.
All
Well,
right.
I think this Mia. I think she really wanted to like suck this guy's blood. All right, but he just couldn't do
Maybe.
it. All right. So they eventually fight and they eventually banish pretty much both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of like go out together, but you know, like this is also too when the spiritualist is kind of seeing that there's a little different sides to this Miyu that she thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the episode, she thought, like the first episode, she thought that she was just some crazy demon who's just more powerful than the other demon she's going after, but she's still like a demon. You know what I mean? She still wants to bring harm to the earth. All right.
Right.
But then now she can kind of see that she was trying to help this human compared to like having him go down the path of, you know, love and internal stuff like that. You know, she see like, okay, well, at least she was trying to help a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, little different.
Right.
So.
And then Himiko kind of makes the point that Key chose the demon over Miyu.
Yeah.
And then she banished both of them to the other dimension or wherever they're from.
Yeah, the outside space world.
Yes.
All right.
Where the demons are from.
Yes. So then we get episode number 3. It was okay, but we get a little bit more backstory on the larva character.
Yeah.
So what was this one called?
This one was called Fragile Armor.
Yeah, Fragile Armor. Mm-hmm. Or I got the Forest of Illusion, which I don't even know if my names are right. I didn't see no fucking forest. So this one was all about this. There was 2 stories going on. Okay. Yeah. We had Larva's brother, which I believe it was brother. All right.
Maybe, yeah.
And he was basically, I don't know if he was like trying to like rescue his brother, but he was basically after Miyu to like get her. All right. So this is when we see the scene of like, you know, we have Larva over there. He's about to enslave supposedly all of Miyu's culture or whatever. But then Miyu turns the tides on him, sucks his blood, and now he's a slave to her. Cool story. The brother, though, apparently the brother, like what he did was I guess he could like resurrect the dead or something because he resurrected this dead samurai. And he convinced that this dead samurai was a Shima. All right. So the whole episode, this samurai in this huge ass armor, is like fighting, you know, Miyu, and they're going after them. And the spiritualist does contain this huge armor guy by fingering him.
Yeah, that was kind of cool where she's like, casting her spell or whatever, and then like
she's doing the, you know,
like this. Yeah, it was like this. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was kind of cool.
Did she do it? Did she do it in the taint?
It's like it's like scissoring.
Bro, I saw that. I was like, what is going on here? The spiritualist is fingering this samurai guy, and he can't move.
Yes, yeah, and he can't move. Yeah.
I had no idea that the spiritualist actually had like powers.
She talks to dead people.
Was that her power?
Essentially, yeah. Like she talks to dead people. It's like she's like a psychic kind of.
Well, she has finger magic power too.
Well, apparently she also can do that as well. Yeah, apparently. But yeah, basically she talks to dead people, which is why she can like control the samurai because he's dead.
Yeah. So we get this whole story of the Larva's brother controlling the samurai. Now he's trying to go after. I guess I think he was trying to get Larva back. You know what I mean? Or he was definitely trying to go after Miyu. But the control that Miyu has over Larva outlasted the brother. Okay? So we kind of get rid of the brother rather quickly. I thought this story could be expanded on a little bit more.
Well, I was going to say that like a lot of these episodes I feel like it could have been longer.
Yeah.
Like they really rushed through a lot of story, I think.
Well, I thought the story for number 2 was okay, but this one was a little tough because it had like 2 stories going on at once.
Yeah,
because after they get rid of the brother, all right, the samurai armor guy, there's like this whole story where he's like, I'm a Shima, and they're like, no, you're not, brother, you're human. He's like, well, no, I'm not.
He's a resurrected dead person. Yeah,
and then they realize basically this is a tragic story, but it's basically what happened with them was he died, right? All right. And then I guess it was his wife who like sacrificed herself so he can come back. All right. But the problem is he came back and he got kind of like tricked by Larva's brother to think that he's a Shima.
Right.
And he was a Shima the whole time until the very end where Miyu was like, I don't judge. I don't like. Basically, Mia said, and this is where the spirituals is like kind of like coming to like, okay, well, this girl's not all bad. She said she doesn't really judge humans. She will only judge Shimas. Like she will only like kill and judge Shimas. She will not judge humans. So that's why Mia wouldn't attack the samurai guy. And the samurai guy wanted to attack her, but she's like, no, you're human. Only the humans will judge you. All right. So that's when we got all the cops, everything, and they shoot the guy down, and he eventually dies, realizing like, oh shit, I'm actually a human. But then he dies when he realizes that. So all that sacrifice was for nothing.
For nothing.
So it's a sad story. Like I said, these stories are very deep. I did not expect that watching this short mini.
I was surprised at that too. Like I was surprised at how like meaningful they were. Like have been really good so far. All three of these.
Yeah. So I thought this episode was pretty good. Like I said, I think it got kind of like a little too much, two stories going on at once. But I thought the actual backstory of Larva was super cool, and I thought the samurai one was pretty good story too. All right, so the next episode, we got the final episode.
Yes.
All right. What was this one? What was it?
Frozen Time is what I have.
Yeah, Frozen Time. And I got Banquet of Blood.
Banquet of Blood or Frozen Time. Yeah, those are both similar.
So this is all about Mia's backstory.
Yeah, so I had to watch this 1.5 times because I wasn't sure if we were like flashbacking or if we were going back in time. It was confused at first, but
what was it? What was it? I think it was going through her memories, kind of.
I think it's both. So Amigo goes back to her childhood town.
Yeah,
and then she kind of like goes to. She somehow like there's some like split in like time or whatever, and she sees Miyu as a child.
Yeah,
and then sees Miyu's backstory and why she ended up the way she did, kind of.
Yeah, like her backstory,
but it's mostly about Miyu.
Yeah, so her backstory is basically she was trying to live like a normal girl life, but she was trying to live with the thirst in her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like the parents were trying to like act like it was like no big deal or whatever. All right, because like Mia had a friend and everything, and like when Mia got older and stuff, she had like this big craving for blood, because she's a vampire,
right?
And like the dad was always like pretty cold to Miyu, and the mom was like semi cold, but she was a little bit more understanding. Because I think that the dad knew when Mio got a certain age, she will not be like a normal human girl. She will be a Shima hunter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's what her clan has done this whole time that they're on Earth. They don't live normal human lives. So when Mia was like a little girl, she had like a friend, and the friend came over, but she had all this thirst and stuff. She was thinking about fighting her friend, but then the mom intervened. And then eventually the mom came in with the glass of blood. It was like, you need to drink this.
Which she just randomly got somewhere?
No. It was implied that the mom killed the friend.
Wow, I'd have missed that altogether. Yeah, okay,
and gave Mia the blood to drink because Mia.
That's even darker.
I know. Yeah. Like I'm saying, there's some dark shit. Like that's the way I was watching it. I was like, "This is some dark shit in here." If we were watching it wrong, you have to comment below. But that's the way I was looking at it. The mom killed the friend, and she wanted to have Mia drink the blood, but Mia didn't want to do it because that was her friend. Like when she was wanted to bite her neck and everything, she was trying to resist it. Like she was just like, she doesn't know why this is happening. So, but she eventually couldn't handle it. She came over to hunger and she drank the blood. All right. And I believe there was like a story where then we get like, there's like this order of things. Like it was like, we could see all the Shimo gods and stuff are in a lair. The dad was like the gatekeeper guy, but it's going to be passed down to Mio and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the mom or something like that did not want this to happen. So she wanted to like control Miu's kind of like thirst by like, like kind of like not having her go crazy on everybody, kind of like feeding it. And then the big story was basically the mom was trying to get Miyu out of there, out of the house, and to the dad for her to be taken to the order of things or whatever. And the big twist,
Mhm.
all right, was Miyu couldn't handle her hunger at all, and that's why she actually bit and killed her mom.
Her mom, yeah.
Yeah,
She drank her mom's blood.
bringing her John mom's blood. And that's why I think that's when she really like unlocked her powers, basically, from that. All right, and that's what we see her kind of like gather the larva. You know what I mean? Taking him over everything, has her guardian, protector, and friend. And she basically, I guess it was supposed to show it like us, the audience, that she is basically living on this earth, has not really a human, but kind of like a protector, and also kind of like a wandering spirit in a way.
Yeah, kind of. So
Yeah.
she is. So both of her parents were sealed away in that other dimension.
Yeah.
And then apparently the Shinma made that. Well, they whoever these gods are, or whatever, like they send her to capture all these Shinma that have escaped.
Yeah.
And if she captures all of them, then the seal can be reversed and she can see her parents again. Yeah, but they give her like, because it could take thousands of years. Yeah. Right. They were sent to this other place, the outer dimension or whatever. And then, but this can take thousands of years. So that's why they made her immortal, and she'll stay like her age forever. So she's not that way because she's a vampire, but she was made that way so that she could hunt these Shinma for as long as it took.
Yeah.
Basically. So she's not like a traditional vampire. Like she can go out in the sunlight.
Yeah.
And you know, that stuff like that.
Yeah. They bring that up. They were like, well, how can you walk into sunlight? The spirituals brought that up a bunch of times. How could you, like, none of these normal tricks work on you? Because it's like you're saying, she's not a traditional one. She's kind of like an ordered,
like a demon vampire. Yeah. She was made that way. Exactly.
It's very similar to Alucard, to be honest with you, because Alucard after Castlevania, he can come out into the sunlight and he can do a lot of human stuff. I don't think he eats human food at all, but he can do a lot of like human things, like walk in the daytime and do that stuff like that. So she's very similar to him in a way. So, but yeah, there you go, man. That's it. That's the OVA miniseries Vampire Princess Miyu. Yeah. As Alison has his cat.
Yeah, he jumped up in my lap, so I had to grab him real quick.
Hey, we love cats on here, brother.
He's gonna pull. Here he comes.
There's he doing his thing.
He's doing his thing. He loves to be on camera, I guess. There he is.
There you go. What did he think about Miyu on here? Did the cat?
He loved it. He watched the whole thing with me.
There you go.
He just sat on the arm of the chair and watched the whole thing with me.
So, but I mean, if you guys never heard about this anime or want to check it out, check it out. It's actually pretty fun. Like I actually enjoyed watching these. Like not all of them were the best, and they do have a lot of posing. Like bro, the posing in this was crazy, bro. I mean, everybody was posing, and the line that's the spirit, brother. I fucking cracked up laughing on the plane. And I was like, what is going on here? That's a great line.
Yeah, like I was watching it with headphones on sometimes, and I was like laughing through a lot of it. It was great, though. I mean, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I enjoyed it.
For sure.
It was cool. I don't know if I watched the TV series, maybe, but I like this tone of it. So I heard the TV doesn't have this tone of it. So, but
Yeah, I think it's going to be more, not kiddie maybe, but more toned down for sure.
Yeah. But comment below if y'all like this or love this movie. Let us know. But we will be back here next week on the Retro Blood. I might not be in Miami Vice Land, but I'll be back here on the Retro Blood. And we are continuing this month of love and vampire and seduction because we are talking about supposedly the sequel of Nosferatu.
Yes, with Klaus Kinski.
Nosferatu in Venice.
I've heard this movie's cray-cray.
Brother, it looks like one of those like British like fucking what do you call like scandalous films or whatever. It just looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous.
This will be ridiculous. I can't wait to talk about this. I've never seen this before.
I've never seen it either. I've seen previews of it, and I'm like, what is going on here? To be the previews were him Klausy. It was just him walking around Venice.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the whole movie. Him just walking around like, hey, look at me.
I'm afraid so, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of nudity in this one.
Yeah, which is Hey, the
It's always a good thing.
Retro Blood
loves the nudity. Yeah.
So, and then of course we're going to be ending the month with arguably the most popular vampire film of all time. I would say.
Ooh.
What do you think?
More so than Interview with a Vampire?
That's a tough one. That is a debate that we might have to have. That's a tough debate to me. I think Dracula might beat it though.
Yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula is a great movie.
That's what we'd be doing. But that is a good debate though. I mean, what do y'all? We should do it for that episode of what you all think.
Do a poll. Yeah, we should do a poll. Cool.
But everybody, we don't have any music lined up. Maybe I'll play the theme of this if I could find it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Like, Japanese themes are pretty fun. Like, my favorite was the one from the Guyver, the remake.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have cool themes. Very J-poppy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Other cool themes out there and stuff. So, but everybody, J.H. Alison and his cat. Kind of looks like Dr. Evil over there.
Yeah, when I'm stroking my cat with him sitting in my lap, he's sitting on the table.
If you're in my room with the cat right now, you would look like straight from Austin Powers. All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we have J.H. Alison, James Kline. We'll see you all next week for Nosferatu at Venice. Stay with.
See you guys.